All right, what's going on, guys? Gdoggcasey here, getting ready for another poker game, and the tournament started much quicker than I was really ready for. So here we are, under the gun. This is the first hand, Ace 9, not a bad hand, but we're folding it when we're first to act, because there's so many people left to act after us that there's a chance that any one of them could have Ace 10 or better. So it's just not worth the risk, especially this early in the tournament. But that said, how are you guys doing? I've gotten a pretty decent response on the poker video from before, so I'm definitely going to be doing more. I've been playing a lot of poker since then, and, well, not necessarily a lot. Not as much as I've wanted to be clear, but I've been thinking about it a lot anyway. So I've just recently pulled the plug on some. Okay, so actually I'm learning things right now, because as of today, I've purchased a poker software. It's called Poker Tracker 4, and if you guys are into poker at all, then and you've been considering pursuing it as a hobby or more, then you've probably heard of this program. It's very interesting. I'm still pretty new with it, but I just paid $60 to buy it, and after trying to trial out for a little bit, obviously I'm going to be folding this. But the stats that are displayed on my screen are not displayed in the recording for some reason. I guess it's because it's an overlay on the PokerStars client, so it doesn't pick up when I'm just trying to record the PokerStars client. But it gives me access to some stats that allow me to try to make better decisions. And I suppose since you guys can't see them, I'll try to not really talk about them all that much, because it's going to be not too helpful for you guys. Got a pretty big bet here. Just really wanted those 200 chips. So on top of purchasing this program, which, by the way, also does a really neat thing where it tracks all of your progress for all the hands you play. So as of right now, in the background, it's picking up these hands and it's gathering information about my playstyle and everyone else's playstyle, which is really neat. And it also keeps track of your earnings. So if you're playing a cash game, for example, it'll keep track of the whole session. So let's say you played 300 hands in the session, it'll show you your ups and downs for that session, and obviously where you started and where you ended. And that's interesting information for one session, but really, after one session, all you really care about is the end, right? Like, how much did you make for that session? But the interesting thing is how it keeps track of all the sessions together. And I am just shy of heartbroken that PokerStars doesn't have a way of storing all of your hand information for your entire life, because that is something I would really, really like to see in this program, is how much have I lost? Because in the end, I've obviously lost more than I've won, but it's because I just have not been very disciplined, and I never really pursued it fully. There's definitely been moments in my life where I was playing poker a lot, and I would consider those times would be me pursuing poker, but at the same time, never for an extended period of time, for more than like 6 months or so. So I've been thinking a lot about it, and we'll see if it sticks. I don't know. You know, I'm obviously I have this. I wouldn't necessarily call it a problem, but I have this tendency to change up my interests, like almost on the fly, all the time. Wow. Both of them didn't have anything. So yeah, so I bought this program, and I made my first, like, significant deposit into PokerStars. Gonna fold after a raise and a re-raise. Jack 9 is not that good. Yeah, so I put $250 into PokerStars, which to a lot of people is not a ton of money. To me, it's a good enough chunk for me to put into PokerStars. But all my previous deposits were like $20 here, $50. Like $50 is probably the biggest. You know, and then I'd try to play a cash game and either win or lose, or put it all in like a big tournament or something like that, and ended up losing the one time I did that. So this time, the idea is to follow a really strict guideline. And it's called, for those of you who already know about poker, then you know, I'm not trying to patronize you, but there are a lot of people who don't. So here, like, I'm not liking this. I'm going to fold. We're going to play very tight early on in this tournament. But, yeah, I'm not trying to patronize you, but at the same time, for people who are new to poker, you probably don't know the terms. So, in this case, the one I'm going to be talking about for now is called bankroll management, or bankroll in general. Your bankroll is the amount of money that you have for poker, and nothing else. So, it's easy when you're online, because just whatever's in my PokerStars account, that's my bankroll. So right now my bankroll is like $210 because I still had a little bit of extra from before I deposited. And what you do is you count your bankroll. And by the way, I'm not going to be like flaunting my bankroll or anything like that all the time, but I'm just giving you guys like the basics of how it works. So with $200 in your bankroll, you need to do some math and figure out the most, like the safest way to play with it. Got a huge hand here. Queen Jack. This is why Queen Jack is not good. Got stomped on by the Ace Jack. He's going to be out of here. He's got 7 chips left. But the idea of bankroll management is to be able to play poker without being scared of losing money, right? And luckily, online poker is incredible for providing a place to do that at all times, at least in Canada. I did hear there's a poker site called Bovada or something in the U.S. I've never played on it because I don't really intend to, but I think that's a legal poker site for you guys online. So check that one out if you're curious at all, if you like what I'm doing. But I might be like, I'm pretty sure it's legal because I've seen other forum posts say it. But that said, check into it if you're interested. But it's all about playing without being scared of losing. So, you know, any money that I go in with, I can... How do you word it? So, even though, let's say in this this tournament here, I bought in for $3.50. If I only had $10 in my account, I could be thinking like, well, geez, like I really don't want to lose this tournament, because if I lose, then I'm only going to have enough to play in 2 more, right? And I mean, you can make it more extreme by saying I only have $5 in my account. I can only afford this one tournament, so I really don't want to lose. So it's going to change the way you play. It's going to change your decision making based on an emotion that shouldn't really be involved. Or at least it's much better if it's not involved. So that's why with a $200 bankroll, playing in a $3.50 tournament is perfect, because I don't care if I lose, right? Obviously, technically, I don't want to lose, but it's not like I'm going to be like, ugh, I really need that $3.50. And it sets you up with multiple chances to play tournaments. So I think I'm pretty good here. At least there's a good chance of it. So I'm going to just take a stab. Most people will probably fold, but I might get one. Yeah, small pot, but we'll take it. I didn't want somebody to hit a flush and then all of a sudden care about the hand, and, you know. But yeah, so again, just to get back to bankroll management, it's all about being able to play the game not scared of losing your money. And it allows you to make the smart decisions, not based on the money and, you know, how much it would hurt if you lost it. Again, it's mostly basic stuff, but I gotta get my phone out of my pocket. I didn't even realize it was in there. I don't like keeping my phone in my pocket because I always think that it's gonna like crack in my jeans or something, you know, when I'm sitting down. And I just realized my wife left her phone in here, and she knows I'm recording now, so she's probably not gonna want to come in and get it. But she's got a computer out there, so she's fine. She's fine. If she really needs it, she can come get it. Or ask me to give it to her. Which she hasn't done, so we're good. So I think it's going to be really cool, because this is my first time being able to make a significant deposit in PokerStars and actually try to be incredibly disciplined and really try out this bankroll management thing and put it to the test. And then on top of that, I have this poker tracker software, which is going to track my progress, track how much I win and how much I lose at all the different blinds, like all the different stakes and everything like that. So at the end of this, either it's going to turn into something awesome, or it might just sort of putter around averagely like it does for a lot of people, or it might suck and I might tank and end up eventually losing it all. And either way is going to be good, except for maybe the middle one, because the middle one of just sort of, you know, puttering around $200 and not really able to make or lose is just kind of boring, right? But at the same time, I guess it's better than losing it all. So I'm really looking forward to tracking my progress and seeing how well I can do, and potentially make some side cash on the side. So in the big blind, getting King Jack suited is really good. I really like this because it allows us to disguise our hand a little bit, and we can call any raise. Well, not any raise, but a lot. He might shove here, and I'll call if he shoves, because he's only got 114. No, he's waiting, but I'll call this. Defend my blinds, get a look. Always check. That's not actually a rule. That's just what I tend to do, is check. 72 chip bet. Hopefully he doesn't have a queen. Okay. Hopefully he does have a queen. So we got a full house here. We're going to go for a value bet here. We want him to call this bet, so we're going to make it kind of small. About 120, because it won't hurt him too much to pay for that. Or he'll fold. I don't think that was too high, but maybe it was. Would have been nicer if he called it, but oh well. This is probably poker's most boring hand here. Limping in. Everyone's gonna limp, you know what? Screw it. For 15 chips, the chance at the flop coming 2-2-3 or 3-2-2, it's always worth that small amount of chips. We can just get out of this hand as soon as anyone bets anything. So this poker software I'm talking about that you can't see is providing me with stats that are very, very good to know. And I'll be honest, I'm not necessarily sure about the ethics of using the software. Like, I know they're legal, and there are going to be people using them. So if there are other people using them and you're not, you are probably at a disadvantage. I'm not going to pay 100, even though I hit my 2. This is not... No. You know, it's legal. So that's about as far as that goes in terms of the ethics. And technically, it would be possible for somebody to sit here and track all of this information if they were a genius, or if they had a calculator and knew how to use it. Essentially what it does is it tells me the percentages for what these people are doing in certain situations that matter. So it gives me the first stat, which is VP, which is voluntary pots, I think, or something like that. It just means what percentage of the time are you in the pot voluntarily. So in this case, this guy is going all in voluntarily, so this is going to increase his VP. And I'm not going to call with ace-8. Two people all in here. Ace-king loses to the 5-5, which is which hits trips, so nice hand for him. So that's the first stat. It shows me what percentage of the time are these people voluntarily playing in pots. So I can tell, you know, most of this time I've been talking to you guys. I know I'm always looking over here. That's because that's where the streaming is. That's where the streaming program is. But got to get a little better at talking to you. But I don't have to pay full attention to what's going on the table because this stuff gives me information at a glance. So if somebody's raising, I can be like, well, this guy raises all the time. This guy raises, you know, 60% of the time. So he's not getting good hands 60% of the time. It just means that he's a very aggressive player. So if I just didn't happen to be paying attention and I look back and somebody's raising me and I can see, you know, this guy does this all the time. So take that raise, that show of strength with a grain of salt. It also shows 3-bet percentage, although only pre-flop, at least in the interface on screen. So it shows how often somebody 3-bets before the flop, which is very important. If somebody's 3-betting and you see it's the first time they've done it in 100 hands, then you know I probably shouldn't mess around with this guy. However, if their 3-bet percentage is like 40% or 50%, it's the same thing. Maybe I should just shove this guy all in because he's just, you know, he's trying to get me to fold. And there's some more stats as well that I'll bring up from time to time. I'm not sure how I feel. Like I was kind of hoping you guys would see them. And maybe I'll look around. There might actually be a way for me to show the stats. In fact, I know there has to be because I watched videos of reviews of this software and I saw it. I just don't know how. So maybe next time. Not really a lot going on so far. Getting a lot of shitty hands here. Right now, my voluntary pots is 19%, which is not the lowest, actually. Raoul G here has played less, 13%. But we're just not getting hit with good hands here. Alright, well, in the big blind, getting ace-10 is pretty good. So we'll see what's going on here. There was just a pretty decent hand that had just happened. This person won a decent pot. I think this person is good. So I'm actually already going to change to red. I guess it's a she. I don't know. You never really know, right? But I mean, the name is Raoul as well, so who knows? But we can definitely call this min raise with ace-10 in the big blind. And check again. I don't really like this. So that's a big bet. That's over half the pot just on this, which indicates that he like probably wants me to fold. Another thing I can see actually is that he always c-bets. So I'm gonna call one time because I'm gonna see if I can turn this around on a bluff on him. If he checks here, oh, he's going even bigger. Now I feel like I made a mistake. So I don't necessarily like this guy is betting. He's really committing to this now. And I have literally nothing. But he was on the button and he raised. Like he could have nothing too. But I'm not in a position where I can fight him for that. So I'll let him have it. Don't feel good about that one. Another min raise, huh? Being in small blind is actually the worst position because it means no matter what, you'll be first to act when you get the flop. So no way do I want a part of that with a hand that's not very good. But being on the button is the best because it means no matter what, you'll be the last to act. So that's why you can play a wider range of hands when you're on the button, because you sort of get to see all the information first and make a decision based on what you've seen. So like in this case, for example, I see a raise under the gun, first to act raises, and that's not a good position generally, right? To be first to act. So if he's showing that he wants to be involved in a pot, even though he knows he's going to be one of the first to act, it means he must have a decent hand. Either that or he's like a crazy player, but... This guy's starting to pre-flop raise very often. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Like, he's only at 14%. But then again, I'm at 0 because I haven't had a decent starting hand yet. I think my best hand so far has been 7s. Wow. Why was the ace-10 even in there, though? That doesn't make any sense. That was a big hand. He had quad kings. This is a big raise pre-flop, but we're going to call it. Fuck. I don't feel good about it. You know what? We're going to wait. I wanted to call, but... no. Not worth it, just to take a stab at a pot, even though I was in the big blind. This tournament's been exceptionally boring. We've been going for 30 minutes already. I was wondering, like, why are the blinds getting so big here? Or why the raise is getting so big? 200 with 7s? We're going to try the repop here. Because he was on the button, and it looks like a blind steal to me. I could get punished heavily for this. But it's the first time I've 3-bet all game. So, should take note of that. And if I need to get committed, well, I guess we'll roll the dice with 7s. Yeah, I think we got it. Yeah. There we go. It didn't feel right to just call with 7s, because then I would have probably missed the flop and then just felt the need to fold, and he could have continued to put pressure. So when you repop, you're like, listen, you know, I don't have 7s. I have at least queens. And then he rethinks it. But I have to remember that I've done that once now. He's trying to do... It would be funny to do it again here, but not with 3-2. Nah. So, it's probably it's definitely evident at this point that I've been editing the video. Obviously, in real time, I haven't edited it yet, but I've made the decision to try editing out the boring bits of this video because I really wanted to play this because this is a fun hand to play, but it's a very early raise. It's only a min raise, but still. If I was chip leader, probably, but I am not. But yeah, I've made the decision to edit the video, and we'll see how that goes, because I think it might be a little bit better for you guys to have a condensed version, you know, of the tournament rather than, like, I mean, let's be honest. If I showed you all of these hands, it's mostly me just sitting here folding 9-2, 7-3, Jack 4, 9-2 again. Like, I've had just a lot of really terrible hands and just not really much to say about what's going on, so it's really not that important. So king queen in this position, it all depends on what people do in front of me. Alright, so we'll raise. It's like the second time I've raised pre-flop all game. A re-raise here. Okay. Wow. Okay. So we have to fold this because this person has been playing very tight, and this is the first time they have 3-bet all game. So even though this is a decent hand, it's going to lose to whatever she has. I'm a bit salty, but it had to happen. So in this case we have, okay, well now the decision is actually different. So I was going to say pre-flop raised by this person indicates a lot of strength this early in the position, but because so many people call now, I have better odds to just call and see if I can hit something good. Because of the chance to make a lot of money, but I didn't hit anything. We've been in a position where we're sort of just, you know, bleeding away our blinds, and I've taken like a couple small stabs here and there and hasn't really paid off all that well, so we need to get some strong hands here. And this is not the time. So in this position, Jack 9 on the button is a really good pre-flop raising hand. So we're going to do it. Hopefully we don't get repopped here. In fact, I have a feeling it would be a brilliant play for this person to do that. Because I would have to fold. Fuck. In retrospect, it doesn't seem so good. We got a call. So now we have to indicate strength, though. All in? Okay, well. Oh my god. Not looking good here, guys. We are in that mode now. We're like 40 minutes in to the tournament, and we've only lost one person. We're definitely in all-in mode now. We need to double up. But I don't even know if I would say that we've gotten one premium hand this game. I can't remember. We had Queen King once, and we had sevens once, and I can't remember a better hand than that. This is it. Alright, guys. No matter what happens here. Wish me luck. I wish I could do it with a better hand, but... Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, my God, we got the jack. We split the pot. Wow. And we showed our desperation there, but we survived. We bought ourselves a little bit more time, but the blinds are still pretty high. I only have 11 big blinds right now. But we did knock somebody else out. Oh, it's the king. Oh my God, he runner-ruddered a flush. That's unlucky for the one dude who just got knocked out. So now all of a sudden we are in last place. I was thinking about doing something funny with that hand, and then I realized that it was a stupid idea. I was thinking about it. But we got somebody who's limped under the gun here. So I wonder, it would be good information to see what this person is limping under the gun with. Raul could have anything because she was in the big blind. So, you know, she just checked in. But I really want to know what Chris Chan has. You see betting here. And fold, okay. We are still definitely in all-in mode right now. And with the sixes here, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make an attempt to steal the blinds. Obviously, I'm already committed. So it's very likely this could be our last hand. But if I can steal the blinds, I'm alright with it. If anyone wants to fight me, then I just have to... I'm committed at this point. I can't wait around. I've been waiting all game. So we won, but... Okay, well, here we go. Ace, queen. Gonna do the same thing. If we can just safely steal the blinds, then I guess I'll live with that. But if we get pushed in and we're committed, then we're committed. But we just take all the blinds again. This is a hand that will definitely fold. So this is pretty interesting. I like getting a good premium hand like this when we're on the button. Because, well, we already have a pre-flop raise now, so this is probably going to be it. Ace-King is not an absolutely great hand. It is not. But it's the best hand we've had all game. So, here we go. He's definitely going to call. He's got a huge chip stack. We got the king. There's no jacks. Yes! There we go. And all of a sudden, look who's back in the game. From last place on that hand to first place. Which only barely, but also still technically true. And that just goes to show we are at 48 minutes of this tournament right now. We still have 6 people in it. We've only lost 3 people. And we were able to have a hand where I went from last place to first place, which just shows how close everybody is. I mean, you can see right here how close everybody is. But here's a big hand happening. Gigantic. And Ace King just moved up a couple spots in my book. A King 5. She'd played so good and so conservative all game. She had 13 big blinds. She was on the button and she decided to go in with King 5. I think she might have just been trying to steal the blinds there, but it was a little too aggressive. And there we have it. Another person bites the dust. We have 5 left. If I was later in position, I would play this hand, but not this early. A re-raise. Wow. Okay, and a call. This will be a big hand. Someone's got an ace or a king, but the clubs are scary. And the slow plays here. Okay, the clubs are really scary now. That sucks for this dude. He's having a bit of a meltdown here. I don't know how that happened. They both called and raised pre-flop. But then... And then there was an ace and a king out there, but nothing else. It's sad that I'm thinking about this. I'll let him take it. With an ace in my hand, I was thinking about that. I wonder if that was something that I probably should have called. I think there was some validity to the thought of it, at least. But my stack's not so big that I don't have to worry. If I would have lost that hand, it would have put me right back down near the bottom. So... I'll take a stab at the blinds here, but got a call. That was my first min raise of the game, so it might have shown weakness. We'll see. This guy has no C-bet stats, and neither do I. He folds to a C-bet 67% of the time, so we got to do it here. That's a bit strong, but we'll do this, and based on the stats, it's likely that he'll fold. There we go. See, and I like that too, because then if he didn't fold, right, let's say he calls, then I can, even though you should be getting these sort of sensations without the numbers, with the numbers there, it still helps, because I would have been like, okay, well, he called that time, but usually he folds. So he probably actually has something here. You know, sometimes when people call, you can't be sure, but... Here we go. Got a big hand here. 7s versus ace 10. 7s are in the lead. Last card, and it's... Well, I was going to say it's all over. It is not. He survives. And breaks in a pile of chips. And all in here. Okay. We'll get out. The game's starting to speed up here. So, I'm liking that. We're hitting that... Actually, we're hitting that time where it pays to be aggressive. Like, big time. This is, like, the biggest window. Or maybe on the bubble specifically might be a bigger window, but... Still, this is a pretty big window for us to be aggressive. Instant folding here, this guy. I'm just trying to get some easy chips here from people who are scared to lose. So, okay, we got a similar situation here. He's probably going to check. If he bets... Okay, he checks. This guy folds to C-bets 60% of the time. So we'll do another one. And we'll see. It's going to give us the info. There we go. I love it. And this is somewhat significant there. I just put myself in first place. So, at this stage of the game, being a bit more aggressive, and not showing fear can really pay off. This is where you can make your push for first place once we're in the money. Of course, you know, hoping that we still get there. You know what? I've been showing strength and people have been showing weakness. I'm just going to push it a little further. This person knows what he's doing, I think, and I'm expecting competition from him, potentially. But hey, another 500 chips. Ace-9 in the big blind is very good, especially if somebody just tries to snag the blinds. I'm not going to be calling any all-in, which is most likely what we'll see out of this guy here on the... Okay, interesting. We still saw what I thought. So Ace-9 is all of a sudden not so good here. Ace-King, Ace-10. Double dominated. But we had the Ace of Clubs. We wouldn't have got it. Good thing we didn't call. That's stupid. That would have been a very stupid idea to call that anyway. But good thing we didn't. And now this person I said that I thought we were going to get competition from is out. And we have 4 people left. So now we are on the bubble. I'm not the chip leader. This guy's been raking in a lot lately. But we are in 2nd place. So we're doing all right. We can still show some strength from time to time. With a raise from him, we will not, though. This guy's basically saying he's committing here. You know what? I'm going to fold. Because in this case, like, on the button, or on the bubble, you have to be ready to go all in. With anybody. As you can see why right there. Now it's not really the good time to try to steal blinds, because you're going to get people who are just going to be like, you know what? He shows an ace. So this is a very volatile position here, because we're only just barely in 2nd place. This person's not too far behind. So we can't really be too cocky here. Yeah, good idea by him. I have a feeling if I were to re-raise, it would probably get him to fold, but not worth being wrong there. He's limping, and I'm thinking, like, should I limp too? No. That limp creeps me out. We totally missed the flop anyway. Well, I mean, yeah, we definitely missed it. There's, like, small % chance that something can go our way here. Oh, this hand's gonna be big. The club's on board. It's a careful bet, and he folds. Oh man, I'm in 3rd place right now. This doesn't feel that good. Is he gonna... Oh, okay, good. I'm glad I didn't have to make that decision. Because he totally could have, and it would have made me think. This is a good position for us to try to snag something from somebody who's trying to get frisky. But now with him raising, we're going to call, though. Obviously, ace-jack. We have a straight draw, but nothing really else. Pair of queens. He is not checking. Or he's not betting, I mean. So we'll... And now we've hit our jack. So we got 2 pair here. There's a flush draw. We're going to make like a small bet. Because I'd like him to just call. If he re-raises me, I have a big decision. He's thinking about it. What are you thinking about? Okay. It's very volatile right now. Everyone's on a knife's edge. So it suddenly went from really, really boring to now really interesting here on the bubble. I realize that I keep covering my mouth by my G-Dog sign there. It's just because of the way I sit when I play poker. I'm not necessarily like sitting up and being presentable all the time when playing poker. Honestly, most of the time I'm kicked back and like watching something on the second screen and playing, so. Could this be it? Nope. We got Romania on our right. I'm Canada in the middle. Germany on the left, and then Brazil in the top left. I'll let him take it. Even though we just gave him first place. Okay, I have 100% C-bet. I have a straight flush draw. The thing is, I know he's going to call. That was a stupid bet. He called that... Oh. I misread that then. My initial thoughts were he called it because he must have had at least a face card of some sort. Maybe he had a king and he didn't want to push it, but... We're going to be going in with these 10s. Preferably not against these people. Rather... just knock this guy out. So this is terrible. This is because we don't have a club and 3 clubs came up. What we really, really want is to progress this hand cheaply and hope the board pairs. And hope for no more clubs. Hopefully he checks too. Oh man, I really, really don't like this. Okay, yeah, we will check. Okay, the board paired. So even if he has a flush now, we're good. Because we have... Now I can be fairly confident that we have the best hand. So we're going to try to squeeze as much money out of this guy as possible. We could even knock him out, depending on what he wants to do. See, 400 is really, really cheap. Really cheap. Too cheap, my friend. How about 1,000 more? And I don't even have to show him what I had now. But that was a good position. We're going to continue now, because now we have a big stack. So now we can wave it around, and we can call this pretty easily. Okay, give me an ace, please. Or a 5. Everything but it. Well... we just put him in first place now. That stings. I just resized the screen there by accident. Take it. I'm gonna back up a bit, hit the brake pedal there. I'm a little steamed over that loss, to be honest. All of a sudden, it didn't really seem like such a good idea, you know? But I still think that it was. I think I would still make that decision if I had to again. He's thinking about it. But no. He's calling this time. We hit our ace on the river. Oh man, that's a pretty big bet. Ouch. We've got stung now, twice. People are going to be eager to knock us out now. We only have 8 big blinds left, and the big blinds are coming fast. He should raise me here, and I will fold, because I'm not doing it with this hand. Essentially, king or better is what we're dealing with now. This hand works. Alright, let's go, Elpo. Me and you, buddy. There's the jack. Now I need the ace. And we don't get it. Ah, what a shame. We were the bubble boy this time. Not the happiest with that. But there you have it. We're not going to win all of them. Pretty disappointing. I might have gotten... My juices might have been flowing a little too much there towards the end, and I might have made a couple silly decisions. With the ace-8 calling the all-in, that one was definitely at least debatable. And then calling with the ace. But it was a big enough bet that like it could have been a bluff, so I wasn't really sure. But that's going to do it for this one. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about the edited format, if you like that a little bit better. Hopefully, you know, it gets the sort of good stuff to you faster so you don't have to sit through the sort of boring shit, because, you know, sometimes I'm just sitting here silently playing. However, if you like the full, authentic experience like that, then by all means, let me know. I'm going to be sort of going back and forth on it. So next one, I'll probably not edit, and we'll just do, even if I am silent, so you can literally get a taste of what it feels like. And then if you really don't like it, you can tell me at that point. But yeah, that's probably how I'm going to do it until I get a definitive idea from you guys. That said, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.